President Biden's border executive order took effect this week, but illegal immigrants do not seem deterred. In the last few days, the average crossings are almost 3,900, barely down from 4,200 in April. So Arizona lawmakers are taking matters into their own hands, putting a Texas-style border law on the November ballot. Joining us now is Arizona Senate President Warren Petersen. So great to have you on, Senator. And I guess Joe Biden is taking a lot of heat for what's going on, but it looks like the governor in Arizona is too. Tell us how citizens on the ground are feeling about this and if Katie is feeling the heat as well.
Well, yeah, as I go around and talk to my constituents, this is always one of the top issues, if not the top issue. People are worried about the crime, the drugs, the fentanyl that's spilling in from the border. And so the citizens are concerned. The governor has said she's concerned as well, but she vetoes our bills to protect the border. So we're going around the governor. We have passed a referral out. It will go directly to the voters. They will get to decide and vote in November. It's basically just a law that mirrors federal law, that you have to come into this country through a legal port of entry. And if you don't, then we're going to enforce the law, since the federal government won't enforce the law, and deter these people from coming into the country illegally.
You know, that executive order actually exempts minors, unaccompanied minors, from, being returned back in any way. What do people in Arizona think about that? Because that seems like, just from a humanitarian point of view, a terrible situation, really putting children in danger and making the chances that they fall into sex trafficking more likely.
100%. All the energy, everything is now going to move to those children. The focus will be to use those children as puppets for the terrorists and for these cartels. That is horrible. And Biden's executive order is a joke. He's virtue signaling. It still allows 1 million people to come in to the country illegally every year. If it's enforced correctly, the number should be 0. And so it's really just, it's not going to do anything. And the fact that now it's going to be focused on children, he's just setting up future atrocities.
No, of course. It's horrible. Again, I'm so curious. Like, I'm not on the ground in Arizona. I'm originally from there, so I'm just trying to understand how Katie Hobbs is managing this politically. She's aligned with Joe Biden. She's done nothing to protect the border. And now she sees the numbers and that the people of Arizona want border security. How is she navigating this just politically?
Oh, gosh, it's a disaster for her. And this last week has been horrible. She was just referred to for criminal charges in what appears to be a pay-to-play with one of her favorite businesses. A judge just told her she's breaking the law because she wouldn't allow us to. She was nominating directors without us confirming them. And with the border, she's failing. She talks the talk, but then when we put bills on her desk, she's not signing them, and she's taking a lot of heat for this.
Yeah. Clearly, this open border is intentional, and Katie Hobbs, Governor Katie Hobbs, appears to be part of the effort to keep the border open and just pretend like they're doing stuff before November. It's really great to have you on, Senator. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.